I cannot tell you how grateful I am to be here with you today, and how grateful I am for your presence. I want to tell you that this dictation to me and this action is the answer to a prayer that I've been praying for a number of years since I went stumping across America. It was a very strenuous challenge for me to go stumping. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done, I think, in many lifetimes. OMRI-TAS called me to do that, and when it was all said and done, and we had done Ghana, Liberia, England, and America and Canada, Saint Germain explained that it was one of the final initiations before he could give me the assistance in the final balancing of my karma, which had to come about so that I could be his servant, in the sense that he wanted me to be his servant in these decades of this century. And what I observed from that stump was that the Holy Spirit, the Masters, could use me as a vehicle to draw into the light souls they could not reach any other way. People would come to those stumps right off the streets. They would see a poster, come in, hear the message, and either be at our center or Camelot the next month or the next year or 5 years later and tell me, I've been coming ever since I heard you. And so I have been praying to God to know how that Saint Germain and OMRI-TAS would sponsor me ever again to go stumping. And they have declined to do so, because they have said the world has changed and there are forces abroad of malintent. Individuals can be used because of their drugs or their fanaticism, and we will not send you stumping. In fact, I have not even been allowed to hold a public conference in a major city. And so I have been a bit downhearted about this situation, to say the least. So I can see now the perfect answer, that one can speak through television and some guy can shoot the tube, but I won't happen to be standing there. It's a wonderful opportunity to divest myself of the burden of the Lord's Spirit on my heart, especially in the face of what we hear the candidates saying, what they're afraid to say, what they don't say, what they should be saying, what the people should know, what the people want to hear. And as I was talking to one of our friends the other day, encouraging him to run for office, he must have given me 25 reasons why he wasn't going to run for office. He said, well, I might get shot. I might not win. I might not raise the money. You have to raise a lot of money. It wouldn't do any good anyway because I can't change the system. It wouldn't make any difference. And on and on and on and on. And I thought to myself, to be able to do this, you have to have the sense of having nothing to lose. Now, I have nothing to lose. He was saying, well, it would change my whole life. I would lose my livelihood. I'd have to stop doing what I'm doing and all these things. But I thought to myself, none of these arguments apply to me. I don't owe anybody anything. Nobody's funding me except you. The press has taken all their shots. The enemies have taken theirs. They have never had the power to create me or to undo me. The press, the media hasn't made this organization, and they are powerless to undo this organization. They just carry on or they don't carry on, but it makes little difference to the masters. They see to it that their chelas are here. I'm not tied to any system. I don't own stock in any corporation. I don't have any financial disclosures to make. The money I have, I use for my needs or I give to the church. In fact, I'm not tied to anybody but you. So I don't have anything to lose. We have everything to gain. It's a perfect thing to do. It's the time to do it. Thank you, beloved ones. Won't you be seated? It has never been my desire to put the burden upon this body of funding our way to fame and fortune on primetime television. Honestly and truly, I just don't see it. I think cable television is fine because it's free. Maybe satellite television would be okay. I don't quite understand how it works, but I think it works whereby you pay a certain fee to get it on the satellite, and then locally you pay a certain fee for that particular program to show on a station in your area. We have found by producing quality cable shows that cable stations demand them because they fill in their programming. They like our shows, amazingly. They even show them 2 and 3 times a week, the same show. I always hope I won't turn on the TV set when I'm on. I've never seen myself actually on television. And I hope I won't. What I think the key to our victory is expanding the broad base of this movement with very dedicated light bearers who will see to it that we are on every cable television station in North America. And when it becomes not a burden, but perhaps easier because of the sheer numbers of people involved, we can consider the next level of formatting that might not appear to us to be such a hefty burden if we are a greater number supplying small contributions. But anyway, I'm not sure how it's going to get there, but I do know that I'm going to work very hard and make a very best effort to be worthy of your sponsorship and the Masters, to be worthy of beloved Saint Germain, and to know that what the Masters want the people to hear will be said, and then to realize that it is the work of the angels of God, and yes, of the chelas, to be certain that the people get the message. I haven't actually considered what to do about one of the burdens of my heart, which is becoming an increasing burden, and that is the preachers I see on television on Sundays with their foul messages and their betrayals of the people and their falsehoods, occupying prime time round the clock with everybody watching, and not one lone voice giving the truth in that prime time. It's not just a watered-down message. It's a message that's a lie, and it's limiting the nation. I know the Keepers of the Flame in Bozeman would have had to pay $1,000 to have Jesus' 1-hour dictation on the air in Billings. One time. And that was their whole budget for the next year. And I said, you know, it's an ungodly thing. We have to find some other way to accomplish this. I think this ought to be the first subject of our Violet Flame session, which we're about to hold with great eagerness. I'm very, very gratified that so many of you responded and put Jesus' Easter message on the air all over America. And I'm gratified that Gautama Buddha's Wesak message has also been on the air. He actually told me before he gave it that he was dictating that message for America and that he wanted it on the air. You know, I don't have a sense of time when I'm taking a dictation, so I'm always surprised at how long or short dictations are. But Gautama Buddha's message, if I'm not mistaken, was 52 minutes, allowing enough time for an opening and a close and a song. So, we begin a bold adventure, as Maury would say. I ask for your prayers, your support, your protection. We've been putting out videos for 1 year, and I can remember when I announced that at Camelot, how I had that little sense of the feeling in my heart that I was giving up my last point of intimacy in my life, which is my relationship to God at the altar. But this was now going to be seen by anyone, anywhere who could do anything or say anything while watching me. That precious altar, our precious pictures, our precious sanctuary would now be seen by anybody and everyone. And I realized it had to be, and I'm glad it was done. But it was that moment's sense of giving up, that last giving up of something precious. And I also felt, as I said to you then, how would I survive under that kind of attention of so many millions of people with so many different opinions. I think I must say it hasn't been easy, but the tremendous strength of the Brotherhood and your decrees and your love has been far greater than the opposition itself. And with that experience of a year behind me, I feel dauntless in the very presence of your courage and your love and the Master's support, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Thank you. Please be seated. Right now, I know you must be beginning to think about food. takes me a while to come back and remember that I'm hungry. I would like at this time, since we have not taken collections except one or two at this class, to pass the hat for the support of our being the spokesman for the Goddess of Liberty and for these teachings to be on video. We have here a mother and son team, Marion and Frank Black, who are spearheading this video cause. They have a few words they'd like to say about it, and also some marvelous statements made by people who call in when they have seen the videos. So if you'll come quickly and give us what you'd like to say.
Good evening. Good afternoon. We have the definite privilege of being able to stand before you today and tell you how you can get involved in our cable outreach. And I would like to say that this has been going on for 1 year, and we came here last year with one tape and one cable station in Connecticut. And now, thanks to your efforts and great efforts, and the hard work of the staff and mother and everybody that's involved in this cable outreach, we are in over 450 cities, and we are in over 33 states at this time. So the masters have been working on this for quite some time. And what we're here to tell you is how easy it is to do, because it is. It is very easy, and it is your right as a citizen of the United States to get involved and to express our freedom of speech. What you have to do is you take our videotapes that we have prepared. We have, as you've heard, 3 different series. We have an Everlasting Gospel series. We have hour shows and half-hour shows. We actually have a series consists of 13. We have 2 series of half-hour shows. We have 1 series of hour shows of Everlasting Gospel. We have a Coming Revolution and Higher Consciousness series, and we have our Summit University Forum series. All these are special made for different applications. Now what you do is you take the tapes and you walk into your cable station and you say, "Hi, I'm a local resident of this area, and I would like you to play this tape on your station." And they say, "Okay." And that's really about all it takes. Now what you might have to do is sometimes there's an access cost. In other words, for the first tape, they say, well, it's going to cost you $15, and for us to view the tape and make sure that there's nothing on there that we don't want on there. You know, like you're not endorsing any political candidates, or you're not being, you're not swearing or anything like that on the air, which we don't do. So we don't have any problems with that. Now, the thing is that once you've got your access time, you can keep it, pretty much. You get it once, and we at Camelot work very hard to ensure that you get more and more tapes. And we have lots and lots of shows that are already made. And the stations, as Mother has said, they do love our programming, and they like our programming, and they're exciting when we have a new series. And they're more than happy to play our tapes, and they're more than happy to see the people get involved in public access. That's why public access was created. It's a community access. It's for you to get said on television what you want said.
It's for the voice of the people.
And so the public access stations are very, very excited about our tapes, and that people are getting involved in doing it. Now we have a booth in the bookstore, a cable television booth, and all you have to do is walk in there, and you can talk to my mom or some of her friends, and they'll tell you all about how to get involved and do that.
Can I read some?
Yeah, please do.
I'll read some comments that have come back from the programs. This is from Manchester, Connecticut, to Elizabeth Clare Prophet. The Lord has truly blessed you. I find your teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ to be a wonderful and so very understandable. I look forward to each weekly telecast and wish we could view your church service more than once a week. from Marina Del Rey, someone there. After 5 years of boredom and cultural depravity, I saw Elizabeth Clare Prophet on television one evening and felt like God was reminding me that I'm supposed to be doing something, even though I did not know what that something was on an outward level. Santa Monica. She's fantastic. I think she's very inspirational, and I enjoyed it. I was especially touched because of the healing of the little children. From someone in Honolulu, Hawaii, to Elizabeth Clare Prophet, you certainly have a unique ministry, and I would like to learn more. I wish you could speak about or publish more about the flame. I very desperately want to learn more about this, and I appreciate you rushing this free literature to me. 1,000 notes. She was wonderful. We had her for a full hour. She's lovely. I love her program so much. The program is beautiful. My husband was so very sick, and we watched the program telling us about wheatgrass and all the vitamins, and she just fit in. I want to get the wheatgrass and the vitamins. I know God gives me my strength and health to look after my husband. He's in his 80s, and I'm 80 in November. Yes. From Glendale, this is great. She gives the meat, the essence. She gives the meat, the essence of who we are, not just the bones. I was a hostage rescued from Iran, and her politics are okay with me. I want to tell you that the Summer University Forum has really just begun, and the calls are starting to come in now from all over the country, and everyone is saying, what can I do? You know, they really are. They're saying, we want to do something. You're doing something. We appreciate Mrs. Prophet, and she's speaking the truth, and we've never heard it on television. It's so rare, and so it's really amazing. It's really wonderful. So my answer is the tapes are available. We now have them put into radio cassettes. The Summer University Forum is here, and these, everyone can use these. They can get it on the radio. The people calling in can get it on the radio. They can rent the videotapes if they can't buy the videotapes, play it to their communities. Whatever you need, we have ready now to provide you. Mother has provided it, so that's really exciting.
I want you to know that Mother and the Masters have made every sacrifice there is and every opportunity to get these tapes to you at the least cost to us. For an hour tape, it's $33 for 1 hour show. For a half-hour tape, it's $25 for a half-hour show. Now, these are 3/4-inch cassettes. They're the big cassettes. They're broadcast cassettes. They're not little ones. And it's the same cost for the half-inch. Now, these tapes, you know, this really should provide you with the opportunity to take the tapes and run for it, to take the ball and go, and get them out. Now, what people are doing is they take one tape and they take it to a cable station and say, play this. Then that tape's through, they pick it up, and they take it over to another cable station, and they say, play this. Meanwhile, tape 2 is at their first cable station, and tape 1 is at the second cable station. It's called bicycling, and you can bicycle your tapes all over your city. There's several, you know, most big cities have several different cable stations. So, you know, through cable access, you can reach many, many, many people. And believe me, the media is opening up, as the Masters have said, in all areas, from satellite to and cable to various access of more information. People are getting very discouraged with the broadcast medium and with all the garbage that's on the television. And it is really broadening the communication basis of the United States, and that's where we fit in, because people are wanting higher quality programming, they're wanting information, they're wanting news shows. All the statistics point to people wanting to know more about what's going on. And we got the tapes, by God's grace, and you guys have the drive to get them out, put them on the air. So please, please come see us. If you want to help in this, you know, I can truly tell you that it is an absolute joy and blessing to be a part of this access. And everybody who's been involved in it, they've called up and said, I can't tell you how my life has changed since I've started getting these tapes on the air. I'm really doing something for God, and it feels good. You know, so we wish you the best
would like is for all of you who have done the work out there to come and help me tell everybody that comes up how to do it, because you're the ones doing it. You can tell me how you did it and how easy it is and how wonderful it is. You've all really been great.
So may you pass every test. God bless you.
You mentioned the fact that we have now taken our TV shows and put them on audio cassettes and half-hour and one-hour sequences. These cassettes are just $6.50 and contain either an hour show or 2 half-hour shows. You can put them on radio stations of colleges and universities. Radio stations otherwise are very expensive. I mean, they are crippling. They are too expensive. But you can try campuses near you. And, of course, both the video, which you can also have for the same price in the half-inch as 3/4 inch, half-inch for your home and group use, 3/4 for the air. Either video or audio are both good for discussions with your friends, inviting people over, carrying them along, playing them in your car. When you have things like that available, it's amazing the people that you find who are interested in seeing them. And you can open the doors of your teaching center, study groups, or your home. You don't have to be an authorized study group or teaching center to do this. Just open your home and invite people that you might not think about inviting. All the way from Christians to followers of Moon or Scientology or the Hare Krishnas. People who are interested in America and who have a glimmer of understanding that all is not well. You can go to left-wing groups. You can invite retired Vietnam veterans who have a burden that needs to be alleviated by our great love and support. When there is calamity in your town, or when, like the passing of the Marines, you look up the parents and families of people who really need some consolation and start to feel yourselves ministering servants in your community. We're not preaching to the choir. This information is for not us, but for all the other people that don't have it. So now you can have any video show in your possession for $6.50 for 1 or 2 shows. And that's the cheapest we can produce them. And they'd be cheaper if we could make them cheaper. But that's what it takes to get them to you. And it includes a small amount of overhead. So I think that it shows that the message is desired, people are hungry for it, and there's millions of people just like you and me. We're not different. In fact, a lot of people have the same yearnings, the same inner beliefs, the same reasoning that has brought us to this altar of the Great White Brotherhood. And I don't think the victory of this nation and this earth is so far away. Moria says that's a pun because Mighty Victory is going to be dictating to us in the very near future. I want to thank you, Marion and Frank, and the whole department of personnel, research, everybody behind the scenes that makes possible what we are doing. It's a tremendous team, and there's still room for more team members.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Marion.
Thank you.